So I canceled my $650 pre-order for the big new Pokemon set. Now that was going to bring a GWP that is currently going for the upwards of $300 price tag. I am going to explain to you why I just had to do this and there was no other option for me. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Pokemon. Lego and Pokemon have finally done it. They finally come to an agreement to sell Pokemon merchandise through Lego system. Honestly, I was on board with Pokemon and Lego. I'm so happy that this collaboration is happening. Pokemon is one of my most sought after themes for fun as a kid. I always played the games. I always collected the cards. I've got probably hundreds of dollars, probably upwards of thousands of dollars in Pokemon cards and Pokemon games and memorabilia, like the stuff you see behind me. And obviously, I'm a big fan of Lego. I have Lego sets all around me. And now that the both of them have now combined, you would think that I would be more excited than ever. And for a while, I actually was. I thought that what a great potential there could be for CMFs, gym leaders of minifigures, with their maybe iconic Pokemon, like make a Brock minifigure with his Geodude or Onix, and bringing little molded Pokemon of some sorts, bringing maps that are big art style pieces of the different regions. And I thought that would be that's such a cool concept for Lego and Pokemon to finally come together, because we were getting previously building block sets through Mega Blocks with Pokemon. And I got on board with the $650 set. I was very about it. Saw that GWP with the gym leader badges for the Kanto region, completely on board. I wanted that so badly. Got my pre-order in on January 12th. It was a shadow dropped pre-order. Woke up, everyone was panicking, pre-ordering before they ran out of stock because there was only a set limit to that particular Kanto region gym bag GWP. And I'm a big Kanto fan. I love the first generation. I grew up with Pokemon Yellow, Red, and Blue on Game Boy. And there's just such a nostalgic for those original 151 Pokemon. And Lego and obviously Pokemon know that. That's why they want to start with that. And it got me. I was on board. I wanted that pre-order bonus. I wanted that GWP. I wanted that big Lego set of the original 3 starters, Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur. I wanted them so badly because I think it would look so cool on that top shelf with the white behind it and how colorful they actually look. And as the days slowly went by, I started to feel a little bit differently. I started to wonder why I'm going to be paying $650 for a Lego set that is mostly just a base. I was looking at the set, I was starting to see reviews roll out, and I'm starting to question to myself, dang, those Pokemon are actually not that big on the base. The base itself is actually like more than what just the Pokemon are. The base itself is taking up all of the piece count, basically, from what I can tell. I started to think about, okay, if I get this set, what is it actually going to do for me? Is it actually going to give me nostalgia? What am I getting it for? Am I getting it for the purpose of just being through that door first and having that first Pokemon set? Am I doing it for an investment? Am I not going to open it? Am I going to invest it? Because by all means, I know that set will probably go for who knows how much, $3,000 in 5 years. And who knows what the GWP will go for, even though there's really nothing unique about it other than the stickers in that GWP. And someone has already redone the set with a pick-a-brick selection of pieces, so you can go out and build that set yourself if you so want it, because there's instructions out there. Someone already did it. So it came down to, all right, I'm getting the set for a big base and 3 Pokemon, obviously very iconic, and they're going to just sit on a base, and you can take them off the base. I love that. I love that you can take them off the base. I want them without the base, though. And Lego is forcing me to buy it with the base to bolster the $650 price tag. And I don't feel right about it. I just the days kept going on, and I just didn't feel right about it. Like I felt off. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm about to pay $650 for this set. This is actually going to be either it'll be the biggest purchase I've ever made for a Lego set. I've never bought a UCS Star Wars set. The biggest purchase that I've ever made for Lego is Lionized Castle, and that was $350 during Black Friday, and I got GWPs with it, and it felt good. I mean, I feel like I'm getting a tangible piece of art, essentially. I mean, it goes up, it's awesome. But this set, I don't know, something felt off. And I feel that way about UCS sets. I would probably never buy a Star Wars UCS set because of it's cumbersome. Where am I going to put it? That's going to keep dust off of it. And I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I'm right there day one every time a show comes out, midnight release, movie theaters, I'm there. Like I'm a big Star Wars fan, just like I am Pokemon fan. And it finally hit me. I'm canceling this order. Firstly, because I just don't need it. I really don't need it. And the reason I don't need it is because that right there. These plushies right here, I got these today because they were on sale. $15. $15 for this plushie. It's a 12-inch technically plushie because it's 12 inches. That one's 12 inches. I'm missing Blastoise. I'd love to get Blastoise. But look at the color on this. Very nice material. So it's just a plushie. I mean, it looks amazing. And it's bigger than the Lego Pokemon set. This is going to be bigger than that Lego Venusaur. So do I love Lego that much and Pokemon that much that I want the two to meld together in some way and have a Lego Charizard, have a Lego Venusaur? I kept asking myself that question because it's like the clock's winding down. I got to decide if I'm going to cancel this pre-order or not. And it finally came down to no, I'm not because there's this out there. If I want to display a Pokemon that's big for a Venusaur, I'll just get this for $15 and put them up there with my Pokemon cards, right? I don't need to put a Lego Charizard up there because I don't want the base. I'm gonna take it off the base and it's gonna be smaller than this. It's gonna be smaller than that. So aside from investing in it and selling that GWP, yeah, obviously there's probably so many of you out there that would have been like, holy crap, dude, I would have paid you $700 just to get the GWP in that. I get that, but I'm obviously not an investor. I'm not here to resell Lego sets. I've never resold a Lego set in my life. Maybe on down the road, I'll regret it. But right now, I don't have the room. I don't want to store the box, big box. And if I do have it, I'll want to build it. It's why I don't buy Pokemon cards. I can't invest in Pokemon cards because if I have a box of Pokemon cards, a booster bundle, I want to open that. It is what it is. It's the game of opening it. I'm not here to invest. I work for a living to provide for my lifestyle. This is for relaxation, for fun, not to make money off of. So that is really the reason why I backed out of this order. I canceled the order, and I don't feel bad about it right now. I really don't. And another main reason that I don't feel bad about it is because there's a Charizard and Jolteon Lego set that's going to be coming out later in the summer, the next wave, and it's only going to be like $90. So I'm very curious to see what that Charizard is going to look like because I'm telling you guys right now, this is like the Captain Rex coming in the Venator and people thinking it was an exclusive minifigure, then it coming out in that $12 Y-Wing. People lost their minds. If they put as good a Charizard build, or maybe even a little smaller, in that Jolteon $90 or $80 set, whatever it is, people will lose their minds because they wanted that Charizard build, and they thought the only way to get it was in that set. So if that does come to fruition, that Charizard, which it's being made, we know it's confirmed, it's going to be coming out in the next summer wave. It's just going to be very interesting to see what that particular Charizard looks like. If it looks silly like Kitty, or if it looks more on par with how we got the $650 set. Because this is kind of new territory for Lego because they're going to constantly be remaking the same Pokemon because Charizard's a big fan favorite. Pikachu, Eevee, big fan favorites. What's the next Pikachu going to look like? What's the next Charizard going to look like? Heck, with Star Wars, like, it's usually a couple years in between. Like, you get an X-Wing, and then 5 years later, you get a new X-Wing, and you see what's updated, what's they've done better, what they've done worse. Like, we're getting a new Charizard this summer. We're getting this Charizard in the $650 set, and this summer, August, September, we're getting a Charizard again for $90. So to see what that one looks like, I'm very curious to see. I'm very curious to know what you guys think of my decision for canceling this pre-order after coming across these types of plushies that look better than a Lego, obviously, in my opinion, because you don't have all the cracks and stuff. Now, if you just want the novelty of it being a Lego and Pokemon collaboration, yes, I understand that. But even me, I'm a huge Pokemon fan. I'm a huge Lego fan. And I just felt like I wasn't being treated right as a customer because all the money that's in this base that I don't even need. I think the big black bar coming out of the base and into Charizard's bottom, basically, looks silly. The big black part. That should have been like lava or something, or red somehow to kind of cover that up. I know he's supposed to be hovering. We'll make it clear somehow. I don't know. Obviously, that's based on what parts Lego has in hand. But for $650 set, I don't think I'm getting a premium item with that black bar, with the small little figures after you take them off the base. And like I said, they're literally smaller than this, way smaller than this. This is a 12 inches right here. The one you're getting is probably going to be the size of his body right here. Very well designed, yeah. But you see grays, you see cracks everywhere. It's a Lego. And I just, and this one's $15. And so I don't know. I just really, I wasn't feeling it. I hope that I get excited and feel it for upcoming Lego and Pokemon collaboration sets that are a bit cheaper. Because the $650 set just, it got me on board, but then I really wanted to get off this ride as quickly as possible when I really started to think about, is this really and truly something I want to spend $650 on? And so I'm very curious to see what your guys' thoughts and opinions are. So let me know, are you getting the $650 set? Are you incredibly mad at me because I canceled my order and I could have gave it to you and you would have got the GWP? I'll try and link in the description or pinned comment the remake of that GWP. Obviously, you're not getting the stickers, but someone remade that exact GWP on Rebrickable, so you can go get those parts and rebuild the GWP. If you want that exact set, you can get it instead of paying $300 for it on the aftermarket just because it's Pokemon. But yeah, that's going to do it for today. I'm going to get on out of here, so I will see you in the next video.